advanced topic in Jenkins, right? And almost any industry advanced use cases, whatever you have, guys, mostly we solve in this way what we are going to learn today. Okay, so you can think today's class is most aligned with some advanced, complex, real industry use cases that to be done completely with practical, right? Okay, so we'll go very slow today. Even though a lot of things in Jenkins we already explained to you, even though I'll go very slow, step by step, I will explain all the setup and all the different use cases. Okay, but the main topic for today is two main topic we are going to cover. Otherwise, there will be a lot of small topic also come in between. Okay, but the main two topic that we are going to cover today is one is pipeline. That you know what is pipeline is, but the way we create a pipeline in the real world is called pipeline as code. Okay, PAC. This is the one very interesting important concept with detailed advanced setup we are going to do with the pipeline as a code. Second thing is dynamic provisioning. Okay, is the next topic we are going to cover today of the slave agents. That's what we will do. And then I'll relate this to topic together. Plus, all the topic what we covered till date also we cover today again, and we can quickly revised in this topic, right? Second thing is the way I'm going to take this topic. We are going to create a very advanced project, and I can give the guarantee again. If you describe your project in your resume in LinkedIn, you get a lot of benefit, guys, in the interview, in the job, and by getting a better projects. Okay. And why I'm saying this, because I've seen this part a lot in the past also, right? Only thing is you have to describe this project, you have to explain this project, you set up this project, put the GitHub link, or put in the resume, and plus obviously you should know practically that what we are going to cover today. So in getting the better job, better role, DevOps engineer, better profiles, this concept what I'm going to teach you today, plus the project what I'm going to build today, give you a huge benefit in your career job enhancement. Okay, so take this topic very uh, seriously and comfortably also. Okay, so let me pick the first topic. This called dynamic provisioning. Let me cover this topic step by step. Then I move to this particular part. But before this, let me check my current setup. So I'll go to my one of the service. And in my last class, I explained you how to set up the Jenkins master and how to set up the slave. I think I already have it. So one, I have the Jenkins master. That's what I have. Okay, and two slave I have all over here. Okay, let me check the working of these guys. Let me log into the Jenkins master portal on their port number. I believe it's 80. That we can change if you want to go to settings. You can change the port number, and my username is something. Let me try. And so Jenkins master is working great and fine. And I'll like to also check my executors here on the left side, and you can see one built-in node that's called master node and two agents, means two slave node is connected over here. So that's what we can see here, means two slave is working. Plus, I also normally recommend to go to my manage Jenkins, and in my node section over here, okay, I want to check here these two nodes, slave 1 and slave 2, look like in sync. Even though, let me check here, are they online? Yeah, so look like it's online, and maybe in the logs of this guy, I can see and check here. It is not actually. One of the reason is Reason is I don't know. Okay. So one of the reason is maybe this is what the error was coming up. Okay. The error was the free temp space. Means in the storage you have to add proper storage, right? That's why I told you in my last class. So that's okay. But at least we know how to connect the slave. So that's what I explained in my last class. But what are the minimum requirement? You have to use those requirement uh, to complete this. Okay. So that's what we know. But today we are going to do something else and something different. Okay. The way I explained to you guys, whenever any job come up, the only one who is responsible in getting the job is the master. Okay. Getting the job. But this is the again the duty of the master node is to schedule this job in some of the slave node. Okay. So master node will decide somehow and say, hey, this job I will schedule to this slave node. So master node decide because in every job we will assign this job the while we configure job hey and say this job has been assigned to slave one or assigned to slave two and something like this. Okay. What you know, even though very very quickly if I go here that you know, but let me check. So when you configure any job while configuring we can tell this job who will configure the user of the Jenkins, we are the user or the IT team or the DevOps engineer. We say we want this job to be restricted to some node. And here we can give our node name or you can give the node level, whatever you want. Okay. So this part we have done multiple times. But in this scenario, in this scenario, okay, if node is not there, slave node is not there, then obviously I can't assign my job and obviously a job won't run, right? So what we have to do, you have to first go and launch this slave. How? Manually and also keep on running this slave permanent. So this is a permanent slave. And slave sometimes also known as agent. So you can say this is a permanent slave agent. We have to keep on running. Okay. But what is there in the slave that I told you, depend upon the job. If you think this job needs some Git tool, then slave should have Git tool. If the job need Docker commands, they should have Docker command. Job need kubectl command, you need kubectl command. Okay. Depend upon the technology, whatever you want to perform as automation. So it is up to you which technology you know Cucumber, you know testing tool, you know Selenium, you know AWS, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, Kubernetes, whatever you know, SonarQube, whatever you know, you will know. Okay. Wherever you want thing to be automated with the help of Jenkins, their respective client tools, you to install in slave one or slave two in somewhere. Okay. So the approach that I given you in my last class, by using this approach, okay, now it is a complete open ground. Whichever thing you want to play here, whichever player with, whichever the technology with, you can play by yourself. Approach is exactly the same what I covered in my last class. Two or three example I've given you in my last class with Docker integration or Kubernetes integration. How to be automated, I can say. But remaining portion you can try depend upon which tool and technology you want to use. Okay, but whichever tool and technology you want to integrate with the or automate with the Jenkins, those respective commands, client command should be there in the slave. So the point here is what you need in the slave. Okay, two things. One, all the toolkit means whatever you want to automate. For example, if you want to automate Kubernetes, then you need Kubernetes command, but I showed you in my last class, and their requirement thing. For example, you should know how to log into Kubernetes, or depend what else you want. The second thing is you should know how to connect to the slave, who master. So in my last class, we have connected to slave using SSH. Yeah, mostly in the SSH, you Linux have SSH enabled or you can configure. So connecting with SSH is not big deal. But if you have some other computer like Windows, right? Mostly there we can enable SSH by installing some software, but normally we don't use SSH there. And we have a different way to connect to Windows slave, like with Gen and LP, which is Java protocol we can use there. So guys, what we have done, we have shared one of my video to you guys where I show you how to create Windows as slave node. So I highly recommend go to this video. That is one of video of my classroom practical video where I explain you how to connect and make configure Windows as the slave node. Okay, after you connect to slave node, then whatever you want to do in the Windows as the automation part from the master node by creating a job, you can do so. That would be not big. Okay. So let's say your client is slave is Linux, so we can use SSH to connect. But in this example, okay, to perform these two things, connect when the job come up and use their respective tool for automation when job again come up. Okay, what you need your slave agent to be there, up and running. So you need your slave agent to be there. Okay. So let's again go and if a slave agent is not there or slave is not there, for example, in my case, I have, you won't able to run the job. Okay. Now challenge here is in this particular kind of setup, also master slave setup, we have challenge is we have to keep on running the slave kind of forever. Okay. And that will incur cost, extra money. The slave is running a computer. Computer mostly nowadays we run in the cloud. And cloud here the per minute per hourly they're charging. So they'll become a huge cost, right? Okay. The point is we don't know when the new job gonna come up. Okay, we need to it's come twice or thrice with 10 days not coming, but still we keep on running the slave and keep on investing huge money on running the node in the computers. My point here is keep on running the slave to waiting for the job. Okay, there's not a right way in managing the slave node. Okay, what if we can do something like this? Even though there's not one node, okay, maybe we have to run 100 different kind of node. One node for Docker, one for Kubernetes, one for Selenium, one for testing, one for AWS connectivity, one for Ansible running, one for Terraform code running, one for Sonar Cube, and maybe hundreds of different node we have to run, and because every node is doing some different task for you, a huge investment you have to manage. So running the permanent slave node is very high in terms of management, plus very high in the terms of cost also. Okay, so what we can do? Okay, here we can use some intelligent decision. The decision is okay. We ask my master node that whenever any job come up, okay, what you need you to assign the job. And for assigning the job, what you need? You need a node. What if I can do something like this? What if, okay, whenever you need, at point in time, on the fly, I will get your node for you. And on the fly means on the real time. So initially, I don't have a node. So I don't want to keep on running my node to save my money. Okay. Whenever any job come up, whenever some client of you come to you and ask them to run the job, okay. So as soon as you run the job, You assign the job, and before I assign, I come to know with some smart way, and I will launch my slave on the fly, and this on the fly is called dynamic slaves. So I launch my slave dynamically. Okay. And as soon as the slave launch, let's say slave number two launch, then you can assign the job. I will run the job what the way I run till date in the slave. After my job run completely, after job complete done, may fail or pass does not matter, but after job complete done, then I will again automatically terminate myself to save the resources. Again, like the future, next time the job will come up, again I launch on the fly. I run the job, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, how much time the job will take. Okay. And if the job run completely, I will again terminate myself. So what you're doing, you're saving a lot of resources, guys. And technically, you're saving a lot of cost and money, plus management also. Okay, so this kind of setup is makes sense. And this is known as dynamic launching or provisioning of the slave. Okay. The beautiful thing is because this slave, right, is a computer node, computer OS. So when the job comes, that time if you launch the OS, it takes a lot of time, right? That is the reason why we need a container technology like Docker. Docker and this kind of container technology give you a way. They say whenever you want OS to be launched, within a second or less than a second, we can launch for you. So here we can take the help of container technology, when from Docker or the one who manage the container technology, like Kubernetes or OpenShift, or we can take the help from these guys and say when the job come up, okay, help me to launch the OS. That OS has become a node, okay. So that in this node that is now known as OS, also known as container, whatever say same thing. Okay, then we assign the job to this guy, run this job inside the container, inside the OS. Okay, after the job run, damage the container. So now onward, what I'm going to do, we are not going to use the slave node is keep on running, even though we are not using it, keep on running forever, and what is wasting the time. Okay. So these are the permanent node. Even that's what you can see also, right? When we configure the node, a slave node, what we select here, right? When we click the node, we say permanent agent. I don't want it. Okay. Instead, now onward, I am not going to create the node here. You see, guys, automatically, that's what beautiful part. Automatically, when the job come and run, you will see one node will automatically launch for you. Until the time the job is running, node is running. Until the time your job complete, your node also stop or terminated. Okay. This is the power of dynamic node or dynamic slave node, dynamic agent. Okay. So this is one part, guys, we are going to see today. Again, I will repeat today's very, very important topic. We are going to build very big project, very advanced, complex project. When I say complex does not mean it's hard. Okay, I'll make the thing very, very simple for you. Don't worry. But this project will give you a lot of benefit, guys, in getting the better job and better projects in your corporate world. Okay. Main topic is dynamic provisioning. That is what I am explaining to you. Next topic after this, I will start pipeline as a code. Okay. So let me start with the first topic that I explain you already. That is called dynamic provisioning of the slave. Okay. Dynamic provisioning of the slave node. Okay. So how we can do this, right? So for this, okay, you have to use one platform. What I mean by this? Because we want when the job come, okay, by obviously by some of the user or the IT team or the DevOps engineers, okay, to the Jenkins, that's obviously Jenkins master. Okay, to run the job, we need a node, that's called slave node. So first Jenkins will go and launch the slave node dynamically. Launching a node like a computer, where to launch the node, right? Where to launch the computer. So either we can launch the computer over the on the top of the cloud, maybe AWS cloud or any other cloud. Okay, because for launching the computer, maybe you launch manually or Jenkins will launch automatically when the job come up. We need some kind of platform. So platform can be so the cloud. And nowadays, guys, this is the world of multi-cloud. So platform can be multi-cloud, even though nowadays almost every big project is moving toward the multi-cloud. So I highly recommend to you guys to start exploring this world of multi-cloud. It gives you a lot of benefit. Quickly jump to better projects and better profiles. The multi-cloud. Let's say here in this example, AWS cloud or platform can be because my motto is I need a node. So when I say node, I mean to say server, desktop, computer, operating system, or maybe operating system can also known as containers for which technology you use. Okay. So one platform can be Kubernetes. They also give you container that's called pods. Okay. Or one platform can be only pure Docker, no Kubernetes, no OpenShift. Okay, you can also use Docker only. Okay. Now I'm using Docker as a container, sorry, as a platform. So maybe you can use word Docker platform or Docker engine, Docker server, okay, or Docker host, whatever say same thing. But why I'm using the word here platform, I'm using a word here platform because Docker helped me to launch multiple container on the fly when we ask them. They will launch, they will terminate multiple OS. That is called container in the world of Docker. The point here is in the Jenkins perspective, okay, whenever you're looking for the dynamic slave, you tell the Jenkins which platform you want to use and how to tell this guy. Okay, for this in the Jenkins, you have to go to manage Jenkins. And manage Jenkins, you have to go to nodes. Even before the node, you have to go to cloud actually. Here, there's option for cloud. I guess here agent on demand. On demand means whenever I want. That's called dynamic. So when I say dynamic on demand is the same thing. And here you have to tell which cloud you want to use. Okay. And for and you guys know in the Jenkins, whatever you do, everything we have a plugin. Even though you SSS, GitHub, everything we do with a plugin. So here they'll tell you which all cloud they support. Maybe you can go to the link. Okay, in the link they will tell you with here or somewhere else that if you want your agent to be launched as a dynamic agent, then these are the cloud we support. You can find somewhere some information they give you different cloud agents. So if you want to use AWS cloud, then we have to use EC2 plugin. Azure cloud, this plugin. Okay, or many more different plugins available. If you keep on writing, you can keep on getting lot many names. In my case right now, okay, my case right now, I want to use Docker platform. Docker platform. Okay, so don't be confused. Docker platform nothing is like a normal Docker what you normally use. Because you know, guys, whichever system you install the Docker, that system is also on a Docker host. Same system I'm talking about as a Docker platform. Okay, so what you can do here, you can install a plugin. And this is the plugin you can see here. So here the automation cloud providers here, and they give you a quick name for all the provider. You can use Docker, you can use Kubernetes, you can use EC2, VMware, if you guys know, Azure, Oracle Cloud, Mesos, JCloud, Mac, Windows Cloud, lot many digital oceans, whatever you want to use, almost they support almost everything. Okay, let me use two things here, Docker or EC2. Well, let me take one by one maybe. Let me install Docker. Okay, here we can integrate Docker with the Jenkins with the Docker. So point is, now I'm telling my Jenkins master that you want Node, that's what you want. For launching the node, I have given you a plugin that will help you to connect or configure and talk to the Docker platform. Okay, so whenever you want a node, when you want, obviously when job come up, so that point in time, on the fly, that could dynamically go to Docker and ask, can you please launch, also known as provision, setup, install, provisioning slave for. So for Jenkins perspective, it is a node, but for the Docker perspective, they will launch a container. The container work as a slave for them. Okay. And the same slave, what you normally see till date is a physical slave, real slave, or real computer. Here Jenkins will launch the slave for you. Okay, that's for container. And you guys know, slave is a computer where you find a job will run. So this job, whatever come to Jenkins master, they will assign their job to this container, and your job will run inside the container. That's what you will see. Okay. So when we restart, after plugin start, install, normally we restart the thing. Okay, with the approach what I'm going to use today, so it will be homework for you guys. Same approach you can try with Kubernetes. Make the Kubernetes as a platform to run the slave node. I take one more example as a practical, as a homework from my side. Take AWS Cloud as a platform. When the job come up, automatically you Jenkins will contact AWS Cloud. You know what happened? It's very, very beautiful demo. Okay, you know what happened? You automatically, if you know guys, this slave we created by ourselves, launched by ourselves, set up by ourselves. But here, Jenkins will come and launch one more computer here in EC2 server AWS. And that slave they configure as slave. And this can be done automatically on the fly. The power of dynamic provisioning. Now, what you can see is the difference here. When you install this Docker plugin, now if you go to cloud, you can see there's a new cloud option gonna come up. By chance they use the word cloud. Actually, I don't know why the word used cloud. Cloud won't be the right or better word. The better word would be platform or slave platform or agent platform. That's could be better word. But yeah, this new cloud is option come up. And if you hit enter, here they have only one type. Because we have only one plugin installed. Okay. But you can install more plugins. Let's say you want sometime you want to go to AWS cloud, then you can use EC2 as a plugin. Okay, install this plugin for this. Okay, that's one. Now let me take the example of Docker. Okay, so if you want to use Docker platform, then obviously you should have a Docker platform first. So before you do anything and connect Jenkins with the Docker platform, the minimum requirement is you need Docker platform. And Docker platform, nothing, it is a Docker host. And what a Docker host is nothing, a computer where Docker is running. So what I'm going to do, by the meantime they're rebooting, I'll go to my AWS cloud. and setting the Docker platform by myself manually, and it's a one-time setup. Okay, how to set up the Docker platform? Nothing. It's like a normal computer. So I'm launching one computer here. Okay, I'm giving a name Docker platform. It's just a name. Using Amazon Linux here. Okay, give me better RAM because this going to launch multiple container on the top of this. So I'm giving better RAM and CPU. Let's say 2 GB, 4 GB RAM, maybe enough. Okay, I think 8 GB RAM maybe. Prepare to log into this OS. I don't need right now. Okay. And firewall also I don't need. Let me give 20 GB RAM around to this base system. That's all. So what I'm going to do, I'm setting up the Docker platform. Okay. So for this, the first step is I need one machine. Second requirement is I have to install the Docker here, the way you install till date. That's what I want to install. So this machine is running. By the meantime, this machine launched, let me show you one more very quick thing here. My last plugin has been installed. Now what you will see in the cloud. Now if you go to new cloud, okay, two options. They also give you some accurate preference as a extra plugin they have installed as a dependency, but this is also gonna come. It means now you can integrate Jenkins EC2 for doing dynamic provisioning of the slave. Of slave. And guys, dynamic provisioning, you know what this line means? This line means, okay, line means that your Jenkins, when the job come up, will go to AWS, launch the instance first thing. In this instance, they will launch the Java or later things. Third, they will connect this instance to the master. Let's go restore. Everything will be happen automatically. That's called dynamic provisioning. Okay, when the job complete, they terminate this OS. Okay, but here in the manual part, what I did in my last class is we have to install manually, install Java, connect this system to the master node as a registry, and keep on waiting for the job, right? Huge difference, right? But here we are going to do the automation bit. In today's class, I'm going to show the Docker. The main portion I've given you as a homework, as extra knowledge you can try. So now in the Docker, what to do next? So this computer has been launched. Let me connect to this machine, log into this machine. And what we have to do, we have to configure this guy as a Docker platform. For this, what to do? Nothing, just install the Docker software, that's all. So I'm installing the Docker software here, the way you install normally in the Docker. And after install the Docker software, you have to start the Docker services. Okay, so that is the only thing you have to do. Right. So Docker has been installed. Then you start Docker services. It's good practice also make the service permanent enable, so you won't face an issue. Okay. So right now, what you will see, your Docker is running. You can see the info command, and in the info command, you will see your Docker is running. That's what you can see the connectivity and everything working great. Okay. So now this become your Docker host. Means this computer where the Docker is running is known as Docker host or the Docker platform. That's all. Nothing else we need to do here. Okay. So what I have now, we have a Docker platform, But only thing we need is to do extra here is I am running with the Jenkins master. In Jenkins master is going to give a signal to the Docker platform or the Docker host, this machine. And what signal they want to give? Master say when the job come up, I will reach to you, and your duty is to launch the slave that is called container here dynamically on the fly. Only challenge is how can I reach to you? That's only challenge. We got to come to you, and obviously I will come to you over the network using some kind of network protocol, TCP kind of protocol. Okay. So I want to connect to you. So then you have some program here who can listen to me, who take the instruction from me. Okay. Program is mostly guys known as socket program that has some kind of port number. So by default, Docker guys does not allow anyone to connect from outside world. If you want to send anything forward instruction to the Docker, okay, you'll do from here only. Show me the process or the container, download the image, and do all the things, right? So Docker does not allow, even though if you see here with the status command, okay. So Docker say, I am a service, I am a service. I only do the things, okay, by connecting locally. So this FDA signal that means if you want to connect me, you have to connect locally barring the Docker command. Anyone from outside world trying to send me a signal to do anything, okay, they can't. Yeah, they can come via SSH, the different point. Even though they come via SSH, it also become a local for me. Okay, so it does not support anyone come from network world outside world. But here we need this. So for this, what we have to do, we have to enable one setting in Docker so that somebody from outside world can connect to the Docker. And for this, you have to do some change in the Docker configuration file that is located here. So this is the Docker internal service file. So we go open this service file. In this service file, when you run the Docker services, behind the scene they run this program. Run this program. So what we have to do here, we'd add one more keyword. One more. Here, why this? We have to add one keyword here and execute start and say, I know FD means you can connect locally. I want to add one more option, have an H. Can you support TCP also? Okay. And whatever your IP would be, any IP, whatever you have, that means 0.0.0. Okay. So based on where Docker is running, means any IP, whatever you have. So in that IP, can you start port number 4243? It's just a port number, you can change 112211, any number you can change. 4243 is very commonly used port we use in Docker world. So this line means I'm enabling my Docker daemon or Docker services and say, now you start supporting and taking the instruction from the network also, from other computer also. Now other computer can be client and you become a server. And you're working on the port number 4243. You can give other port number also. But here I'm using common port, what mostly we use in the real world is 4243. That's all. Let me save this. Okay. Because you change something in this file, what do you write in this file? Okay, let me grab. I write this line. So if you change something in this file, normally we use a keyword called DAEM, daemon reload. Daemon reload. DAE. Anything you change likely in some kind of Intel server file, this will update some kind of database in Linux, and then restart your Docker services because Docker has something changed behind the scene. Yes. Now, this Docker that is running in this computer, now onward, start taking the instructions from the outside world, okay, to this port. A service run successfully. Let me check the status of the service. Now the service say I can take the instruction locally also. Well, I can also take the instruction from. So even though if you check here, local instructions also the taking. But what we can do one more thing. I can launch one more computer here, and here I only launch Docker command, and from the Docker command I can send the instruction to this Docker and launch the container here, download the images. All the things we can do. In this case, that means this system become a Docker server or Docker platform. Or Docker host, whatever say. Okay. So now what I want to do here, this part is done, guys. So technically, these are the steps you have to done. Now this computer will work as a Docker platform and working on the port number 424. Okay. Now what we have to do, I have to go to my Jenkins and say now your Jenkins, you have to connect to this Docker or integrate to this Docker. So how to connect? So this part is done, guys. That's the only thing you have to do here. Nothing else. This is the only thing you have to do in this already. This got Docker host. Now, in the terms of Jenkins, you have to do one-time connection, this integration. So how? Again, go to manage Jenkins, go to cloud, install the Docker plugin that I installed already, and go and set up the new cloud that is called new platform. Give this platform a name, let's say Docker platform. This is a name I'm giving here. Okay. I'm going to use the Docker plugin. For this, I say create. Okay. Now they're asking two things. Okay. So one is details and one is template. Template is a very important concept. In a minute, I'll tell you. But here in the detail means they're asking you, I'm a Jenkins running in this IP address. Can you tell me where the Docker platform is? Tell me the detail of this guy. Okay. So when I run this, then here you can see they will ask you the URL or URI of the Docker host. in my case, in my case, my Docker is running okay to this IP address. Depend how they connect, they can connect private IP, public IP. Let's say I can pick the public IP. So here I can tell my Docker is running in this IP address and running on port of 4243. And the way you can connect, you can use typical TCP protocol. Okay. That's all, guys. Okay. So into Docker, connect to this URL. Right now, I don't have any security in the Docker for authentication purpose, so I don't need to add any security to connect to this protocol. Okay. And we want to test this connection. Does this connectivity done or not? I say click yes. They are testing the connectivity from the Jenkins. They are going to Docker computer and testing this. But you see it will fail in some time. Why? Because of the firewall. Okay. So this computer running in the AWS, and AWS we have firewall called security group. So anyone coming from outside, firewall or security group does not allow to go into this computer. That's what they can see taking a lot of time. So I'll go to Docker platform in AWS. Okay, go to security and security group. Here what I can do, so I can say anyone come in inbound rule, I want to edit something. And what I can do here, any traffic Even the meta dictator says you can say 4243. Anyone come to this port number anywhere in the world of your IP or maybe IP of your Jenkins, allow them. But to make it simple, I don't want to, those who does not know AWS Cloud, I don't want to make it this complex for you. So all traffic, anyone come from anywhere, from any IP in the world, allow. And I'm doing this thing into the Docker host company. Okay, save. Okay, so last time it failed because of connection time out. Let me again do one more time connection. They say very quickly they connected and they try to post back. So means they can see I am a Jenkins and the Docker which I connected, they are running Docker with a version server called 24. Even though you can check also our Docker version, Docker info command. You can see your Docker is working on this version. That's what they identify for. It means it is connected. And your platform is connected, but you want to enable this platform. There's a button to enable so they can use this platform. Okay. Some more small thing we can do here. Okay, I don't need to do right now. So that is the only thing I would like to do here. And let me save this part. So finally, your Jenkins is successfully integrated to the Docker platform. Same approach you can use with Kubernetes, and same approach you can use with EC2 instances. Okay, EC2 instances. Okay, they might need different way to connect, but approach would be same. Okay, so this part is done. Now, one more part we have to do here in this setup. Okay, let me go to configure again. Okay, so cloud has been connected, but we have to set the template. Not template. Is very important. Template means when, let me create a new diagram. Template means whenever any job come to the master, every job has a different requirement, right? One job might need Git tool, one job might need Maven tool, one job might need maybe Kubernetes tool, depend, right? What the job need. So let's say your job need a Git related tool. So master will go and contact to slave. Okay, slave. There's a Git tool available, right? Then only they assign this job. This is the requirement for the job to have a Git tool so that they can download somewhere from something from the GitHub maybe. So slave should have a Git tool, right? Okay. But right now we don't have the slave. Okay. The slave will come when the job comes. Slave will launch dynamically. Okay. Who will launch the slave? In our case, your Docker host, Docker platform, Docker engine, Docker server, it will is the one who going to launch the slave. In the Docker world, slave is called container dynamically. And you guys know, okay, in the Docker world, if you want to launch a container, we always launch a container from the images, right? So to launch the container, I need an image, and from the image, you launch a container. I have launched container. So for the Docker perspective, it's a container. But for the Jenkins perspective, okay, this container is not a container, it is a slave node. And what is the requirement of slave node? Okay, the requirement of slave node is whatever we're looking in the job, they have this tool set. That's what I given the list right already. Okay, they need a toolkit. The command, Kubernetes command, whatever you want to do inside this slave to run the job. Okay. So first requirement for this slave is I need a toolkit. Tool in my case, let's say example Git. Okay. Second requirement of the slave is master will allocate the job or assign the job to the slave. How? By doing SSH. So this slave should have SSH enabled, right? Obviously, if this slave SSH means this slave should be Linux system, yeah. Linux OS, in my case, Linux container. So these are two requirements we have. You guys also know, okay, this slave actually is a container of the Docker, and container anything come and everything come from the image, right? So you have to use some Docker image. Okay. Image means that what you see in the Docker command. Docker images we have. Right? So you have to use some particular specific image. Not any image will work, like database image or WordPress image or HTTPD image. Does not work here. You use some specific image. Okay. First, where you have the Linux OS, maybe Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, that should have a server enabled with username password also of SSH. Third, you have those tools installed in the image, maybe Maven, Git, kubectl command, AWS client command, whatever you need where for the job you have installed in this component, in this content. But one more thing you need, guys. Master can use slave only if the slave registered to the master, right? Till date, whatever slave we launch, these slave initially one time we register to the master, right? By going to master and we connect there, right? So first slave connect, right? And how we know slave connected? So here, first we have to the slave, right? So till date we connect the slave, make the slave online, that's called node, manually. But without connect, that's called register, thing won't work. We won't able to allocate the job to these guys. So one more requirement we have to connect this slave. But here slave is not available, it will come more dynamically. So if you want this slave, does not matter as a container, but as soon as they launch, I want first requirement is this slave will go and register themselves to the master as slave node. Without registering, it is impossible to assign the job. So first slave has to register to the master. Then after the register, you will see is listed here automatically in the node page. Then they can and obviously to register. Okay, the minimum requirement for slave is always one more thing, guys. We need a Java commands or Java tools. So slave container should have also have Java command and respective command how they register. You guys don't know if you want to register any node, you guys know when you register any node, maybe manually, they give some a node name randomly. Okay. What do you do? How you connect? To register, there's launch method. You will register via SSH, via some installer that's called JNLP protocol of Java. How you connect? With the method available. Okay, over here. Okay. So in the method you use, minimal requirement in the slave computer, we have a Java install, which would have. Why I'm giving this information to you? Because here any random images does not work. You have to find the image in the internet. Okay, where you have Linux system, SSH enabled, all that particular tool installed, Git, Maven, whatever you want, and fourth is Java. So either you can find this image over the internet, or those who know how to create a Docker Custom images, you can create your own custom images with the help of Docker file. So those who know Docker, those guys know how to create the Docker custom images. So you can get custom image of the Docker. In the custom image, take base Linux, configure SS server. For the obviously you should know how to configure SS server. So those who know basic Linux, they know SS server configuration. Give the login and password. Then install the Java the way you install, yum install JDK. And then install the command git or Maven, whatever you want. A toolkit inside the slave. By this, create a custom image. And after create the custom image, upload this image in the Docker Hub, or sorry, in the Docker Hub somewhere. So Jenkins can take this image. So the setup I'm not doing, guys. Okay, because this setup is completely for the Docker file. So those who know Docker, they can do this part very simply. Those who does not know Docker, I will ask my team. They will share one of my Docker file classes where you can create your custom images and create the image based on the requirement. In my case, this kind of image I already have in my Docker Hub for as a demo. Okay. So if I go to my Docker Hub, it search for Vimal. That is my account name, and this is the one of the image I uploaded. Yeah. Nothing special, it's just a normal Linux image. I installed Git software, Maven software. Those who does not know Maven, Maven is a tool to build the Java code. So if you have any Java code, if you want your Java code to be compiled, test, and many more things, Maven is a tool we can use for this. But those who want to learn about Maven, how Maven work, how to set the Maven manually, you want to check. So my team has shared one video to you guys already. Again, this is one of my classroom video where I teach about a little bit of Maven, how to set up the Maven, how to install the Maven, how to compile, build, create a package of the Java. Okay. So all the things I teach you in my that training. For those who want to learn Maven extra. But this image I have. But I want to little explore this image. Let me show you what this image contain. So I'll take this image from here. Let me download this image, Docker pull, to show you what this image contain. You will see the same image, nothing special. So hold for a second. I'll just come back in 1 minute, guys. Hold for a second, please. Yes. So yeah. So this image has been downloaded. Just to quick explore this image. So let me launch this as a container from this particular image. Okay. So let me launch. One container has been launched behind the scene. And what do you notice? This image is running with SSH server. Okay. So as soon as somebody connect to this image, they actually connect to SSH server. Okay. So in this image, technically we have SSH server, even though I can check also. So if you try to inspect the IP address of this image, of this container, I can say this is the name ID of the container. Okay. Sorry. Let's check the ID BB. Even though you don't have to write the entire ID, initial four character may be enough. So you can take the IP of this container. This is the IP of this container. Now, if you want to connect this container, you can use it like a SSH server. The way you connect SSH, you can connect normal SSH, right? So technically now you can able to do SSH in the container. And because this SSH server I have configured in this image, and I am the one who created the username here and the password here. I don't actually maybe forgot. Maybe, but I believe my username that I created is Jenkins, is username here. Let me check. It's being long. Yeah, done. So in my case, in my image, I create user add command username SSS password, sorry, username Jenkins, password Jenkins. This is what I created inside the container that I put in the image. But here I can show you that this image is working fine and I successfully connected to my container as SSH and this container running with the Ubuntu Linux. Okay, and successfully log into this guy. And this guy has the home directory, home Jenkins, nothing is here. In this tool, what I have in this container is a container actually. SS is enabled. That's what I can do. Log in this guy with Jenkins user and Jenkins password. That is a one requirement. So I want the Linux system. I want SS enable using the password. I have Java? Yes, we also have Java here. Okay. Should I have git read command if I need? Yes, git also have. So I have Maven command. Okay. So I have Maven command also. Okay. But I don't have kubectl command. I don't have a AWS command. In this container, if you run to run any Kubernetes job or AWS job, it won't work. So in this container, you can run basic command, date command job run, cal command job run. You can able to run Java command job. You can run Maven job, Git job. Depend in this slave node. Okay, which all job you would like to launch. Okay, depend upon what tools are there. So I just want to explore this container. Right now, I don't want to use this container this way. Okay, let me delete this container. I don't want to use in this way. Okay, I just want to explore you, show you that image that I am using, what all this image has. Those who know how to create the image, you can also put your stuff, whatever you want in your slave node. Now what I want, I have the image. From this image, I want my content to be launched. This container is like an OS, but I want this container will launch not by me. It will launch automatically. This called dynamic provisioning. I want when the job come in the Jenkins master, this container first register to the Jenkins master as a slave. So this slave first of all, or container first of all, launch automatically. Second, it will go and register here, and you can see and sometime automatically. Then the job will be assigned to this container automatically. They run the job in the slave the container, and as the job complete, my slave will automatically disconnect from here, and my container will automatically stop from here. There is a true sense of dynamic provisioning of the slave that actually we want. Before this, what you want? You I have which I want a Docker platform that I have connected already. And second requirement is to tell the Jenkins which image to use. Right now, this image I launch manually just to show you. But here, when the requirement come up, then Jenkins master will come to Docker platform, this computer, and to launch this content from this image. Okay. So it means Jenkins should know which image should we have to use. So that is the reason what we have to do, you to see the agent templates here. In the template, Jenkins should know after I reach to this platform of the Docker, to this IP address, that is this IP address, which image should I use? That is the meaning of the template. Okay. Here you have to give the list of the images to be launched. And now why list? Because every image will have different tool set, right? This has a Maven Git, one has Selenium, one has Cucumber, one has AWS, one has something else, Kubernetes. Also, my point is initially in the slave static node, if 100 use case, 100 node need to keep on running, every node has different tool set. Huge cost and management. But here, you don't have to run 100 container, only give the images, that's all. And whenever there is specific job come up, that particular container will launch from that image. So here you just only give the images, pre-setup images, that's all. Okay, that's why they're talking about the list of images. So add the template here, per image, one template. Per different kind of agent, we have done one template. Okay. So I click on add template. Okay. And obviously, you know, because you're going to launch a slave, and every slave mostly we attach the labels. I can say this slave is going to have a label. Let's say this is Docker slave one, or maybe let's say this is Maven. Okay, Maven. Why Maven? By chance, for those who does not know Maven, again I would repeat. Let's say I have some Java code, not the Python code, not the PHP code. And if you have a Java code, okay, you want Java code to be compiled, then only we can host Java code as a website in some of the web app server. The app server, maybe Tomcat or whatever you might know. So there the use of Maven come in. So I'm just setting the level. Java Maven is a level. I want to enable this agent. Give a name here. This is just a name. So there's a Docker agent one Maven name. Just I'm just giving a name. This is the image what I'm talking about. Okay. And here I have the image. If you don't have, you can use this my image, or those who know how to create the image, I highly recommend go and create it and then put your image here. In my case, it is downloading the image from a Docker Hub. By chance, it's public image, but if you have any private image, then you can put your password here. Okay. So they will log into a private registry of the Docker or container registry and they download from there. So I don't need to do this because this is a public image. So without password, I can log in. Okay. Container settings. I don't need to do anything here. But those who know any container command, you can run from outside. We can run from here. I don't think so. I need to do anything here. So anything and everything, guys, about the container. If you know about cutting or volume mount, everything we can do here. I don't want to do. We don't need here. Okay. Uh, Anything else? This is the important part we just said. Okay. You know slave, right? And in the slave, what we know, we want a workspace, right? Okay, so here I show you in my container when I launch, okay, we only have one home directory that I show to you already somewhere. So I can use that home directory as workspace. Now this home directory has. When image launch container, the container has this folder. This folder I can use as a workspace, right? No, slave, you have to set up the workspace. So home Jenkins can be the workspace for us. That's what we can do. Remaining is almost the same. I want Node to be available as much as possible. Or I can say only build the level XPM as the node. That makes more sense. So whenever anyone who run the job and in the job they assign the level, which level what I configure here, Docker maybe, then only this node to be used. It's not work. Next is connect method. Connect means okay. When the job come, Docker platform will launch a container. Okay. So master will contact the Docker platform and ask them to launch the container. For which image? The image that I showed you, this image. But launching is not enough. We have to register also, right? Master has to first register, make them a slave. Then only they can assign the job. You guys know whenever master connect to slave, there's some method, connection method. Right? So which method they use? SSA protocol, JNLP, or a test container. And here also, guys, you can see here. So Docker must have Java installed. That's a requirement. Then only you can connect as agent. Right. So I have Java installed already. Okay, already. So how to connect? Here I can use SSH. Okay. Why SSH? Because by chance the image I use have SSH enabled already. That's why I checked. So I can go for SSH. And that's why I'm also talking about the prerequisite. This system SSH enabled. I have, or and plus also have an SS support enabled that I already again I have. And how to do SSH? So for SSH, I'm going to configure the SSH credentials. Login and password. I don't have right now. Let me add new login and password in my centralized credential Jenkins provider. And here I'm going to set up the username. In my case, the username is Jenkins. Okay. So I can give private key also, but I have user password, so I don't have to go for private key. So my username is Jenkins, and password is also Jenkins that I configured by myself in this image. Okay, and that's all. You can give a description, maybe give ID, my uh, slave, Docker, SSH. That's all. It's just ID. Otherwise, they can get the ID automatically for you. Okay. So this information I store here in my Jenkins. Okay. So I can select this guy. You can see this name gonna come up in Jenkins. We have some information of Jenkins and the password. Okay. So again, I would like to repeat when I launch this image as a OS or the container. Okay. We will use SSH and this is login and password to connect And why to connect? Because master is the one who go to register this guy. In the same process, what I done in the manual slave also. Master is the one who do SSS to connect this guy, right? Hmm. Okay. This is what I have configured here. The same concept because first time doing SSS, they will face the issue. So I don't want any verification. Same concept what I showed you in my manual slave part also. And once I don't need to change anything, is by default setup. Let me use same. And because we are using image here, if you think in your slave images, if you keep on changing something here, okay. So what you can do, you can use pull strategy every time. So every time your job comes, slave will launch, slave will connect as a node. So always they will download the latest image. Okay. Otherwise, they will download image only. They always launch the slave from that same image. But in my case, I don't want to change anything in this image. I want to use as is. So let me never pull this image. That's my pull strategy. Okay. Anything else here? No. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's the one template we create. We can create more template like this. Only difference between template is, okay, we will keep on changing the image. Every image will have some kind of toolkit, whatever we need in this slave. It depends on image requirement. They have different login name, different password, different way to connect SSH or GNLP. That's the only change we keep on doing. Every image obviously get to a different level is important. Because job we assign per level wise. Okay, so let me create only one particular template and let me save this. Now I can see some difference here. Difference is now in my cloud Docker platform, we have nothing been yet been launched, but we can see some build executor gonna come up. Okay. Well, let's do over here. And again, let me go to cloud one more time to go back. Okay. So we have a Docker platform. And if you go to this platform, okay. So again, this page is gonna come up. Technically, if you go to configure, you can see two things we configured. Okay, one is the cloud detail. Jenkins know where the Docker platform is. Beautiful thing is, okay, this Docker platform we created ourselves, but a lot of Docker platform available in the market. You can also connect with those platform also. Okay, for example, one other service, if you guys might know, is called ECR service in AWS, ECR or ECS, okay, EC service, Elastic Container Service. So you can also connect those platform also. Same process. Okay. And after we connect to the cloud platform, then we tell the agent name. Okay. So which all agents we have. Okay, agent is per image first. That's what we have configured. That's it. Now here we see the power of the dynamic provision. Okay. Now what you will see again the statics cloud. You can see nothing, none of the guys has been yet provisioned. Now what you will see, okay. So if you go to manage Jenkins again, okay, and let's say you have these are the static node you have. Even though let's consider we don't have this in a node. Let me disconnect these guys. What I had. Okay. Disconnected. Let me have one more node. So let's say we don't have any node, slave node. We only just have a master. Just have a master. Okay. What you see guys now today, you will see these nodes. Let me delete first. You will see Now, slave node will launch on the fly only if when the job come up. Until the job running, they will run. After job complete, this that is the power of the dynamic provision. Okay. So, lot thing I've done here. If I miss some of the part, maybe thing might not work. Okay. Uh, but let's see. One more small thing I want to check here. In my Jenkins master, because slave is going to connect to Jenkins master. So in master, they might have some firewall, they block them. So let me check the firewall of the master so we don't face any uh, challenge in the terms of firewall connectivity. So inbound rule, if I edit the inbound rule, so only SS is allowed. Even all traffic is also allowed. So nice. So we don't have any firewall issues. Okay. So let's see, guys, this complete thing on the fly. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch a new job, even though let's open a new tab. I'm going to launch a new job, but by the meantime, also keep on monitoring my live nodes. You can see there's no node only built in. This master node we have. There's no slave node here. Okay. Now, let's say job number two, same physical job. Okay. Everything is same. I'm going to run the build step and we let me run some command. I'm running the sleep command intentionally just for 100 seconds. Okay, so my job will run for 100 seconds. So we can see something is happening. Because when the job run, your node launch at the launch by container is uh, in the terms of rapid, actually fast. So thing will work very, very quickly. We want able to see what is happening. So to make this thing slow, I'm just running my job for sleep for 100 seconds so we can see something happening. I want this job. I want this job will run. Right now they will run by default in the master node, but I say no. I want this job restricted. Where to this one I see name command. The job will run on the node, slave node that has this level, right? Beautiful thing is this slave is not exist. Okay. Now I know it is not exist. Plus, one more way to check. If you go to my Linux system, okay, I don't have a container running. The container will work as slave node. It's not running here. Okay. So what I do, I'm going to do here. Let me use the watch command with some time setting. Let's say 0.1 millisecond. So this command is keep on running docker ps every 0.1 millisecond actually. So I can see something is happening or not. So right now nothing is happening. None of the content has been launched. Okay. So now what you will see when we run this job, okay, the job start running. See here, fantastic, right? See here, fantastic is come up, right? It's come. Automatic launch, right? Automatic launch, and you go to the this node. You can see here, you can something here, and we refresh this page. Come on. See here, they launch some agents, right? They launch agents. Something may fail, they launch more agents. They launch the agent dynamically. Okay. And after they launch agent, the job is running. Well, history is okay. So the job is running. Actually, they launched a lot of agents. There's some technical difficulty maybe, but you can see something is happening dynamically. That's what I was very excited to show you. Something is missing here, so they keep on failing. Okay, why something not supporting? Okay, you have to identify. But what you notice, okay, they launch a container. Okay, automatically. Who launched? Jenkins launched, right? And Jenkins, after launch a container, they start registering these guys automatically. But something is not happening. Maybe I'm using agent image that has an older version Java, very older. Because this image I created 4 years ago. Okay, and this have a different Java version. Maybe some other difficulties, maybe, but we can very quickly just go and check. But but connectivity part is done fantastic, right? It's happening fantastically. So what I'm going to do. So even though guys, this job is queue, right? It's not running. That's also very nice. Job to say I won't run. Okay, I'm still in the queue. I'm waiting. I'm waiting because to run this job, I am looking for a node that has this label. This node is not yet been launched. So that's what I'm waiting over here. And if you go to this job, the same job, what we these guys is waiting for, right? And why they not launched? We don't know. We have to explore this part in a minute. Let me pick one of the agent details. Okay. So this agent launch automatically. That's nice. They connect to this Docker platform. That is the reason they launch a containers here. That's also nice. And they try to tie this project to this node. That's also nice. But something is here. Let me see the log. Okay. And you can see this is almost same thing what I saw in the slave permanent slave. They will connect to this agent. They connect to SSH. Login successful. That's what I given. Login a password. That is also nice. Login successful. Okay. Then they try to find the Java version. They found this Java version that also look nice. Then they transfer. Then they transfer the remote jar. There is a client agent program. Okay. Then we have this error gonna come up, guys. And this error because of unsupported. That's I was very much confident. This may be the always challenge because the Java that I'm using here is the latest version of Java in my master. That is a 21 plus version. And the agent we are running very old Java, and they support only Java 17 or Java 21. That is the only big challenge we are having. So in this case, what you can do, you can create one more new image with the latest version of Java. Okay, that's what you can do. Okay, or find a new uh, image in the market that has this particular version of Java installed. Okay, but what I'm doing right now, let me try to do something in this image. So what I'm going to do, okay, this is image I have already. So in this image, I'm trying to install a new Java. How? Let me try if this Java support here. I don't know. Let me check. So let me, sorry, I'm just giving a name. Let's say OS1 is just a name. Okay. So I'm launching this container. Let me go inside this container. OS1. Okay. With sh or bash maybe. So I'm going inside this container. So I'm inside this container. They have a Java or older Java. Let me try to find a new Java, and this is Ubuntu. So JDK 21 download for Ubuntu. Okay. So if I get the direct link or direct way to install the Java, so I'm just checking one direct command to install the Java in the Ubuntu. Version to find some JDK, or also find an image also, or we can get the image again from the scratch. I don't want to go for those long process. Download JDK, Linux, and these are the software we have. So let me use this tar file, this file, okay. And if this file is direct link, I don't know. Yeah, this is direct link. So let me use 64-bit tar file copy wget download directly inside the system. Okay, this file I have, and let me extract this file tar xvzf jdk. This file extracted. Okay, and now in this folder, I'm storing Java right now. We have bin command, and we have a Java command here, and we check Java from here and ask what is your version, or do you support also. This is my version 21, and it is running. It looked like it's supporting. That's very nice. So this is a folder where I have a Java software. So you guys might know, if you have any command available in some other location, you can set the path variable. As a path variable, we have some more path gonna come up. Okay, this one, copy and paste. So get some path from here, plus add older path and export this guy. Plus there's one more variable, guys, you might know, Java home. My Java is located here now onward in this location. So this is also one of the path I would like to export. So this is pure, guys, Linux and Windows kind of command. If you want to install the Java by some tar file, these are some command you can use. The benefit of this command is, now if you run Java from anywhere, okay, you will see it is getting version 21. But these two command, guys, running temporary. Okay, so copy this command and copy and store in one file called bash rc. If the file located here, if not, then it can be a bit challenge format. So there's one file called bash rc. So how to copy? vi command is not here. One minute. Or nano command is not there. Any other tool, command line tool to open the file. Any other tool, vi, nano, cat we can use, echo. So one more thing, one minute. So even the 1 minute, guys, Jenkins. Yeah, here we do update, because Jenkins is the one who is going to log in. So in this file, I'm going to update new path What path I want to update? I want to update this path, so I can copy. There are a lot of way, guys. I'm just trying to figure out whatever I have. I say echo. This is the string I want to store here, append, not overwrite, in a home jenkins.basrc file, because Jenkins is the one who want to log in finally. Update there plus this path also. So guys, don't worry, this is not at all the Jenkins thing, it's a pure Linux things. I'm going to create a image I can also share with you. You can also use the same image as it is. That's all. So these are steps, guys. You have to take a copy of this commands, and these are steps you can take to create your own image with some Jenkins Java version support. And now all the thing I put in this image. Okay, so what you can do from this image, you can create a new image. Okay, so I already have the image pre-created. So I say Docker, I want to commit, I want to create a new image. OS1 is the container I used. This is a container I want to copy in this alter image. Sorry. So you guys know Docker file is one of the way to create the image, or you can use commit command to get a new image and giving, let's say, version 1, for example. So your new image created, and what this image contain? It contain all the thing what I had, plus new version of the Java. Okay, of the Java. And to check very quickly it is working or not. So what I can do, I can launch a new container with this image. Let's say OS number OS2. I'm launching. Let me very quickly check the IP address of this guy. OS2. IP is 8. Let me do SSH with the Jenkins user to this IP address. A new OS with the same login and password. Everything is there. Git is there. Maven is there. You guys use the same email, but only thing is Java is a new thing I added. It should support. Let me check. Fantastic. So this image is supporting having Java 21, and I believe the Jenkins server should also support this version. Okay, that's what I feel it should. Okay, one more last thing is you can also upload the image here. So right now I don't need to upload because in my local Docker platform I already have this image. So when Jenkins come and connect to my Docker platform, I tell use this image. They already I have it. Okay. But to share with you guys, what I can do, I can log into my Docker with my account. So I can upload this image over here. And how to upload, I can say Docker tag, first change the name, even though the name is already changed. So we don't have to change. So Docker push and upload this image with version 1. Okay. So this image also available publicly in my account. So anyone who want to use the same image without doing all the stuff what I did, you can use this image by yourself. Okay. So this part is done. Now we have a new image in my Docker Hub. Plus it's also there in my Docker platform, and the same platform where they're connected. I already have it. Only thing I want to change here in my in this, what I say, Jenkins is go to cloud, and in the cloud, in the settings, I have to update this guy. That now my template is same, everything is same. Only thing is my image is changed. And the detail of my image is this one. Is not the latest version. By default, they pick latest version. I want they will pick version one. That's also there by chance. So even though let me refresh, you will get one more version here. It's called Jenkins. And if you go to tags, you can see version one right now. I uploaded. Okay, so that's what I'm using here. So let me save this settings. Okay, that's all. Even they can see they launched 62 times because last time they failed again and again. That's what you can see the numbers here. And the statistics, they can say, we can see that they launch a lot of time, lot of time, lot of time. How much time they say? See, within a second they launch, right? That's what the power of container. They launch, but thing won't work because it's not supporting. Okay. So what I want to do, I'll just go to this job. even though, even though, let me go to dashboard. Let me go to this one. Let me cancel this build. Okay. And let me go to the same job. For the job perspective, if you notice, if for the job perspective, okay, there will be no change. Still the same level they are test, same thing they're going to do. The job perspective, there's no change. Okay, so I don't need to change anything in the job. Okay, but a small thing I want to do here, let me do some small cleaning here because a lot of container they launch. Okay, so it look very messy. So let me remove everything. If you know some know the Docker command, with this command you can clean everything, whatever you have. So I can see something happen. So they're deleting all the container what they are running behind this in unwanted. So we can see, we can check something will happen. Docker ps, now nothing is running. Let me use the watch command again to keep on watching ps command automatically. Okay, let's see it will work or not. Maybe some other issues might come up. So again, the game of the version support and other things also. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I again want to go to my nodes. So, and you will see the dynamic provisioning of the node. You can see that a lot of node was running, they fail, they launch, they fail, they load, they fail. They keep on trying. Okay, there's a long history here. But now when I run my job build, okay, and if you go here, see here, they build queue, or if I refresh this guy, you will see some job will come up. Again, it will feel like some more conflict they have. Okay, conflict they have. And having the conflict is always good. We always learn new things. That isn't that no job is still in the waiting uh, part. There's nothing to check here. But the job, whatever launch right now, I don't know which one they launch right now, maybe last one. Okay, I don't know which one they launch. I think I don't know this one they launch. This was the older version. To figure out which one they launch right now. I just want to know the log. Again, this was the older. other jobs here. Which job they launch? They have some next page also or not? Let me again check this guy. But the main part, what we wanted to do, it is happening. There's the main point, but some part is not supporting. There's a different uh, different game altogether. So they log into Jenkins, log into 22. Still, they're getting the old version. I think this may be the old job, maybe. Okay. So what you can do is you can try to find some more image and create the image from the scratch, even though it still should work. To check which node they actually been. I There is no way they actually listed here in the order format. Format is so maybe this number FD. They're not showing next page. I don't know why they're not showing next page. And also filter here. There's no further option to give you much. So what I can do here, we stop this job for a minute. Okay. After stop, you can't see much actually. The log part. So this was the job, guys. I think they launch. And I picked someone last. They just don't mention the logs if you see here. Actually, this version is only a challenge. I think they're not picking, or maybe they're still picking because there are two Java installed in the same version. Maybe they have some default path exposed, so they take the Java what they had. Okay, this may be challenge. Okay. So one more thing we can do, guys. Let me change the agent. Okay, that makes sense. So what I'm going to do here. Okay. Only thing is now whatever you want to create an image with latest version or with Java installed, only one Java, whichever you want. Okay, so that's what you can use. In my case, my image 2 Java, so maybe they are picking in this version the older version Java. Okay, whatever they have the initial path set up. Okay, so what I'm going to do here to do this demo, I can try one more way. So when you set up the cloud here in the platform, here they also give you one name of the agent that you can use that should be compatible with this guy. So when you create this guys, here they give you name of the container or image. I think somewhere they give you one minute. Maybe go to hub.docker.com. So Jenkins, okay, agent. Yeah. Okay, this is what we can use. Let me check what they are having the same or not. launch method agent. Or this root directory. I'm just checking what the settings they are having. So they have Linux OS version 17. I'm just checking which. Uh, One more thing I somebody suggested here. I think this may be one of the part, small part I missed. Here we will pull the image every time. This maybe, otherwise I'll take the image from the Jenkins, right? So let me use this setting to pull the image. Okay, and let me run my job one more time. Okay, and if I go to cloud setting, that is launch 26th. I don't know which one they launched. They are not very much clear which one they launched. Maybe this time they might launch this. Let me refresh again. 27 again, same kind of issues. And let me see the log. Again, guys, this no challenge in the setup. Setup is 100% right. They are still picking the older version. I thought they will pick the different, but still they're picking the older version that is not supported. Okay, so that is a challenge here. Let me try to use different image. I think they might support. I'm checking what the support SSS or not. So accordingly, I'll pick this image. So this image I have, and this image uh, inbound as an image. Launch method is via execute command on the master. Uh, this is the format. This is the command. I don't know how they be used in the Docker. One more image I have. Jenkins GNLP slave. Okay. Here they say this image you can use port secret. Explore this image, guys. Format. This image name, you to give the server URL. Connect. There's a different way to connect, guys. So you guys try this demo. Just change the image. Okay, our setup is right, and just share the image, and that's all. Maybe because this image, different agents, you to do some more extra settings. I don't want thing to be more complex right now. A different angle actually. There's no SSS enabled. So this is a manual command actually. Okay, so if you want to use manually to launch, I don't want this. So that's what I'm not using this image right now. One more thing we can do, image that I created here. Okay, I created here, but this kind of image you can find a lot. Maybe we can try to use image somebody else created. Okay, so that's also we can use. Just try to find some images that has been created by somebody. Okay, so 1 minute, let me try this. So I have one name with me somewhere. 1 minute, guys. This demo is done actually. Just want to show you the entire running in last. So if I go to Jenkins, in SSS isn't. So what we can try. Format. This is this one image. Sometimes use that was working very fine. This SSS isn't. I'm looking for key to key. So let me try one last way, right? Let me use the same agents, what they have format. So let me go to dashboard. Okay, and here again the cloud. Let me add one more template. One more template. And here in this template, what I am going to do, this is one image. This could BI. Yeah, I think this image I used sometime. It should work. Okay, so let me use this image. This is also same image. I think this may be up to date, depend upon this setup. So let me go to again plot platform, edit, and let me create a new template. Okay, let's say Docker slave. Maybe I'm just giving a name, just random name. Let me enable this. Name 123. This is the image I am using right now. Okay, and this is a public image, the root directory. This guy maybe having Jenkins. Okay, I'm using this node for this way, right? And connect method. I think this guy might have the Jenkins account. Mostly we use the same login password if they have, I don't know. We check in a minute. Okay, and what else? Verify SSS first time, pull all image every time. Okay, anything else? I believe this is what I wanted to do. Okay, and that's it. And let me go to my jobs. Small change here in my job. Instead of Docker, uh, we have one more labels. And let me save. I go to Cloud Platform. This was the total current executors. Okay. And the job is this one, and one more page. Let me check about the nodes. We go to manage Jenkins. If I go to nodes, okay. So this is what the node, the last job, it was a queue. Let me remove this guy. Yeah. So let me try one more time this job. This job is running. Yeah, they go into queue format. So they go in the queue. Okay, and here they launch. Okay, and if I think this may be the one who that what they launched, let me check the status. This also have same version, I believe. So to set up the guys, we have to create our image from the scratch that has a latest version. Come on, what is happening? So still they have this job is doing the same. Again, maybe you can if you download this image what I use right now, that's also have a same version issue. Last one more way I want to try, then I will conclude this part right now. Only because of the version difference, I don't want to invest much more time here. One more last try in a different way. Uh, Job in the cloud. I want to add one more template. So we have two templates and we have one more. Okay. So let's say Docker 123 new. I want to enable this guy. Let me say Docker 123. Okay. And here I'm using the image that I was talking about, Jenkins. This image I'm using over here, and mostly they have the same home directory, Jenkins. Use net as possible, that's okay. I'm just changing my connect method here. Okay, this is what I was talking about, right? This is what the image, they're saying you can use this, right? That's what I was talking about. This is the image you can use, the container. Okay, but by the meantime, let me check this part also. And I'm going to uh, use JNLP way, okay, to connect to the system. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. And so here Jenkins must be accessible. Okay, Docker install and launch jar. And I think this can be enough. Okay, let me try this. So this is one more way I told my initial classes. You can also use an NLP program to connect. Okay, so format where my job is running. Let me stop this job. Ask job 2, configure, change the different agents, Docker, 1, 2, 3. Okay, run, build here. They launch one new Docker job is there. Okay, and if you go to last job, if this is the last, arrow gonna come right. It's a different image, right? So they work in different way here. Still they're using same image. Well, still the same. Last try. This is what they're asking you to use. So I'm using the same way what they're asking. So let me try last one. I always very curious to keep on trying. The right way should be better. We can create a new image actually by the meantime. We invest so much time here. That will be faster, I believe, rather than researching here and there. So, so somebody also shared me one link. You can try with this link also if this image is supportable. So, do you know what is the? Let me download and check very quickly. Docker pull this image. This image somebody shared with me. They might have a proper supportable version. Okay, and let me check run dit os 3 docker execute it os 3 bash. It's checking only for Java version. Yeah, they have 11. It might work. Not pretty sure. Let me check one more thing. Inspect the IP address to know the login and password of this guy. SSH Jenkins at the rate 172.17.0.2. No, this image does not have actually SS enabled. Something won't work actually. Uh, let me use this again. Last try. My node, my cloud. Even though guys, I have my one more classroom video. That is my last class Jenkins. This is the same demo we did. That time I think my master had different version. That might be reason the image was working. So that video also shared to you that has the same setup. You can see the entire thing is flowing. So you can also then practice the same way. Okay. Docker. That's a 333 just a name. And I'm using as a test one. So they say use this image. This is what the image name I'm using right now. And maybe the home directory, maybe Jenkins, I believe. And I'm using this method connect where you can use this file. Okay. And that's all. Let me try. Even there's a provision, some provision happening, not failing. So let me try this job. Test two. Docker 3. On this build. When I build, they launch provisioning something. This may be the one what they provision. Main thing jobs should run actually. Yeah, something is changed right now. Okay, something is being changed. Okay, and something changed. Yeah, one operation happening, guys. Now it is working. Fantastic. Oh, so now it is working, guys. So this job has been assigned to the node. You can see also here, this node has been assigned. Something is happening here. One edge operation happening. If you go to node very quickly, you can see from here also. Okay, we have to check where it is, but you can see one job has been assigned. And if you click in this job, or maybe here in this job, okay, this one gonna come up. Click in this job, and what you can see, they have building the job in this particular node. So this node was not there. They launched the node. And why this job is waiting a lot of time? Because I asked them to sleep for 100 seconds. So, but they launch in this node, and if you see this node, as here this node is up, right? Fantastic. This node is up. In this node, your job is running. If you can see the logs of this node also. So this node is up. There's a different page, maybe whatever the page they're showing is not important, but this this node, or if you see the status, I don't know why this may be a different link, but go to my job, maybe here. Okay. So this node has been attached to this guy, and as soon as the complete, okay, maybe from here you can see, yeah. So this is what I was talking about, guys. This is successful. Oh, so it take a lot of time. Okay, but it is finally successful. Let me show you the demo, guys, one more time. Nothing much I did, but yeah, after having much effort, even though I try and explain a lot of images from here and there, always the right way is the way explained to you. Create your own image what are compatible with the Jenkins master. That is the right way to do the things. Okay, but yeah, finally it is work. Let me explain what has happened in this job. In this job, okay, we have run this job successfully. Okay, and in this job, what they was talking about, what I show you here. In the job, they say my job is started by me. They run in the remote computer. The remote computer, guys, was the slave node, and this slave node they launch dynamically, guys. They launch dynamically and they run the command and was successful. And also we can see also here the build on the Docker, because I attached the Docker platform. That's what they built on. So this entire built on a Docker platform, and this entire summary where they built and all the stuff, right? And was successful. Okay. So let me show you this demo one more time. Doing some small cleaning here. A lot of things is there. So let me do small cleaning so you can see everything is working great and fine. So nothing there. Let me use the watch command one more time. So you can see there is no container is running. Okay. I go to my job 2. And what I did in my job 2, nothing. If I go to configure, everything exactly same. I only changed my level. Okay, Docker 3.3, and what this label is all about. So this label say any node, so go to my cloud again. If I go to my cloud again, this cloud we have a lot of templates created, a lot of template created. Okay, some template take the image from somewhere else, but this image does not have a Java support. Everything is good. Java does a version does not support with the, because I use latest version of Java Jenkins master. But what Java they have in the slave does not support. So it is what we're working. That's okay. Then I take one more image. Here also I pick the image for somewhere else. They also have Java, the old version that is not supported. Okay. So that's also the fail here. They take one more template. Okay. And here, same challenge. Okay. Of Java Connect and some other challenge also, because slave also needs some more thing to be done. So JNLV connection, we have to allow something in the master node that is not enabled. That was the field. So that's okay. But technically, what I use this image. Okay, that has label 3 I enable this in same home directory. Okay, here I only did a different way. Okay, because this is the Jenkins latest version that suggests me. If you want to use this method, use this image. That's what I use for their suggestion. Because this is a new version master, they know which version of the agent support. So I use the same image. And here I use the correct method, docker attach, right? So you know guys the docker attach command, right? So instead of SSH is one way. So JNLP is a different way. Okay, but docker attach is like a normal attach command in Docker, where you don't need any SS support. So master will go to your Docker platform, and from the platform there you run the attach command and run your job over there. What a job has been assigned to this container, and depending on what the container have the tools installed. Okay, so this is a method I use here. You can use SSH, but only thing you need image that has a Java right version, that what you can install by yourself. That's it. Okay. So this is the current setup. This is what the total number of operation we have, and this is the total number of node I have at this point in time. Like everything is clean after some time. That's nice. Now let's see about this job. So when I run this job, okay, when I run this job, you will see, okay, you will see, see it dynamically guys, one node launched, right? One node launch. Okay. Maybe that's showing the cross here, but the job is assigned to this node. So here Docker 006 is a node name. And if you go to this job, okay, this job is running. If you click here in the progress, they say this job is here, this node, right? So maybe this screen was little misleading. Maybe initially they was running, I don't know. Okay. But they are running in this node. And if you go to cloud, they are doing one operation, right? Fantastic. They're doing one operation here. Means one node they assign the job. And this, if you talk about this job, this job, again go back here. And if you see the console output of this job, yeah, see here, the job has been running, sleep, they're waiting for 100 seconds, and their job is launched in this slave. This slave was not there on the fly, they launched the slave. And the life of the slave is the life of the job. And the job complete, here guys, they also launch here, right? So the slave is running for some last from few minutes. But as 100 seconds goes, their job completed. And guys, only one slave launch, one concept that they come disconnect, right? Fantastic. Why the container launch stop on the fly? Because your job completed. Now, if you see job is successful, but the job is successful, though this particular node, what I launch, is been shared, removed. Not exist means they removed actually. That means my large job also guys was run maybe in some of the version. This screen was a little bit misleading. I don't know why. In the node they were showing cross here that point in time. So that may be the reason it looked like it was not running, but maybe. And why they launched many more? Maybe they are trying with other version because there are a lot of templates were there. Maybe they're still trying. Something maybe we can figure out. That's a different point. But yeah, my job was running fine. One more last week, quick try. I want to run the job. Okay, where my plan is to run just date command. Okay, just a date command, or maybe I want to echo. Let's say just only date command. Okay, quickly they launch. And when I build this job is running. And if you go to my, again, maybe the job, you see the job launch somewhere, console output. So it was the last actually, the ID. Okay. I don't, in the history, they're not showing the history here. Last build, yeah, now it's showing. I don't know why it's taking some time to update. That's why I was curious. So this job to console output, and it worked right. Now this time it launched a different container. Then read command and successful. So working great, and they're building on the top of Docker. That's what they show you the Docker platform and the detail of the Docker platform, like a Docker info command they presented here. So, so this is working, guys. So there's a multiple method, whichever method you want to use. There's a lot of troubleshooting we have to do today, right? But now it is working very fantastically fine. This is one point. Second point that I would like to give you a task. Okay, task is you have to create an image. Okay, what the image what I was having. Only thing is in this image launch a latest version of Java. That's all. So if you do so, then we can use the method whatever using. You can use SSH also. Okay. So now it is your choice then that you want to use SSH or not. So if you want to use SSH, then create an image. Okay, but this image should have the latest version of Java. Then it will also work. So this is one of the way to launch. Another way, if you don't want to use SSH, maybe most of the time we don't know does not want to use SSH, then the one of the best way that I wanted to show in maybe in the future classes, but here to use today is called attached container. Here I don't need any SSH enabled. The JNLP protocol. Use any program, any container image based on your tool sets. Okay, this would only have some just attach command. So if you know about Docker, okay, attach command only work if you have a bash as a CMD or the entry point. So any image that a bash or SSH as entry point or CMD, those image you can use here attached. You don't need any JNB protocol, neither any any what I say SSH enabled. Yeah, Java we need obviously. So this image, whatever you have, if you download, you can see they have a right version Java, what is compatible here. That's what they work properly. That's all, guys. So this guys about dynamic provision. I think you got the point right. Job come up, they launch on the fly, run your things, what a command available in this container. Then that's all. And after the job complete, your environment will be destroyed, here you can also check, or here also you can say they have been destroyed. But if you run your job one more time, so this is my job. If I run one more times here, automatically here launch, right? The launch environment, that's called node, the register on the fly to the master, job is running, after job complete, see here, that is destroyed. Fantastic, right? That is known as, guys, the dynamic provisioning of the slave node. It actually not take much time. I wanted one extra hour consume of those many extra things. But otherwise, I planned for today to create a one more topic. It's called pipeline as a code. But let's take this topic in next class, guys. As a pipeline as a code. Okay, next class, what I'm going to do, I want to use the same environment for dynamic provisioning. Okay, same environment, and the same environment I will use pipeline as a core concept. So again, one more important topic. So two topics I planned for today, but we can complete only one. That's okay. This topic as a first class. In the next class, I will teach. Okay, there's one thing. That's all from my side. Yeah, any queries you guys can ask. But I thought we have to stop in between. But yeah, finally it's worked. That's a very nice thing. So yeah, any queries, guys, if you have, you guys can ask. Any queries. So after the security training, what if we launch is a cryptography training? It will be recorded classes. It won't be live. So we are providing a recorded class of the cryptography. So those who want to learn about cryptography, especially anyone who want to go in cloud security or blockchain, cryptocurrency, okay, or any other these area, web security. So everywhere we need a cryptography as a deep knowledge, right? And in this cryptography training, every concept I have teach in the complete practical way. A lot of practical real case scenario I pick. Again, I configure it manually and practically. So it's a very fun training because normally cryptography mostly we will understand and get the concept by PPT or by some theoretical way, right? But here, almost every concept, okay, there are a lot of different concepts of blocks and cyber blocks and many other concepts. I show you everything practically there. Okay, so yeah, so good to have this training cryptography, cover all the practice of the cryptography and security. Assuming we will soon resume, right? Don't worry. Okay, we have some other classes as a some more topic to be left in the classes. So as soon as we complete, we will resume that class also. Okay. So any other queries, guys? Do you have? You guys can ask me. Yes, for different use cases, you have to use different custom images. Or what you can do, very simple trick if I want to tell you, this is the image you can use. Okay. If this image has a right version, latest updated image, that's what they work right now. Okay. So this image is the latest version of the Java, what we need in the current version Java master. So take this image, a base image, and on the top of this, install your extra tools and create a custom image, right? Because every custom image you need base image, right? So you can take this as a base image, install maybe install Git, what you want to launch, create, you can launch. So write multiple Docker file, take as a base image and create your own custom images on the top of this. Or you can use CentOS Ubuntu. We can create from the scratch by installing Java manually there. That's a different point. But yeah, for every use case, per client, sorry, per slave, we have a different custom images. Ritik, you to ask to my team actually. I have to check. I have to check this. So that's all, guys, for my side. See you in the next class with one of the most important topic called pipeline as a code by Tech SU.